I would have to say, if you have shoulder issues, it might be fairly intense. So you need to really honor yourself today. So can I just see a show of hands? How many of you actually have some shoulder issue going on right now, or even a little bit of tweakiness in your shoulder? So Susan and Judy and Judy. Anybody else have any like tweakiness, stiffness, arthritis, anything going on?
My hand?
Good. Okay. Yeah.
Can you see me, Kathy?
I can, Rose. Can you see me? Yes, Rose. Okay. Okay, yeah, I need some big old waves. Rose too. Okay, there we go. Oh, look at your shoulders working. They look good. Okay. So just a few things about shoulders. And one of the most common things is impingement. Okay, so we're going to warm up our shoulders a little bit and then just go through some testing just to see how your shoulders are today. And then do some really nice range of motion with the shoulders, because you need to be able to maintain movement in the shoulders and in the shoulder blades. So it's not just this movement, but it's what's happening in the shoulder blades too that allow your shoulders to move. So when your shoulders become frozen or stiff, the shoulder blades aren't doing their job either. So you need to strengthen the back body in between the shoulder blades, because we know that's what lifts our chest up. So this is a heart opening and a shoulder class, because you can't have one without the other. If you're rounded in like this, these muscles in the back body are overstretched and really weak. So you need to strengthen those so that you can take the shoulders up and back. So when you rounded like this, these muscles are short and tight, so you need to be able to lengthen those as well. So it's a really beautiful balance of lengthening and strengthening, all right, to get away from that which is too long, too weak, too like overstretched and weak. Okay, so we're going to find a balance there. So a friend of mine sent this little centering, which I think is really nice. And it's called the goal of yoga. Sometimes we think the goal of yoga is to demonstrate a certain pose, or like people will always say, oh, I can't do yoga, I'm not flexible, or they feel like they're not successful if they can't do what they'll see on TV or on social media. So this is really good. It says, the yoga pose is not the goal. Becoming flexible is not the goal. Standing on your head is not the goal. The goal is to create space where you were once stuck. Sometimes our shoulders can be stuck, or our hip or our knee can get stuck, and we just need to create space in those joints. To unveil the layers of protection you've built around your heart. To appreciate your body and become aware of the mind and the noise it creates. To make peace with who you are. The goal is to love, well, you. Come to your yoga mat to feel, not to accomplish. Shift your focus and your heart will grow. And that's by Rachel Brathen. And that's so, so true. Using your yoga practice all throughout the course of your day, or if you're having, I think one of you talked about, I think it was Judy was talking about, she was at a doctor's appointment and she was using her breathing, and the alternate nostril breathing, and she could feel one side of her mask really heating up because she was doing it just on the side for calming on that left side. Practicing mindfulness when you're even washing dishes or preparing meals or walking, just to give the body and the mind a little bit of rest. So yoga, the goal of yoga really is just to make that space and to help quiet the mind. And the benefits of yoga, the side effect of yoga is you become stronger, you get more flexible, you get more open in your mind and your body at the same time. So it really is a beautiful practice. So we're going to do a breath work called Samavriti pranayama, which is equal parts breathing, because I talked about finding that balance between things that are too tight and short versus things that are too long and overstretched and weak. So we want to create a balance with that. So let's get yourself in a good seat. So shift your gift side to side and make sure that you are rooted and grounded into this space, and invite yourself to come to present moment. Into the practice now. So just letting go of all the stuff ahead of practice, ahead of your class, and all the to-do list. Just come into presence. So look at 3 things in your room, just say them quickly in your mind, and then take a moment to maybe close the eyes and think of 3 things that you can hear, and use hearing as part of your sense to ground yourself into present. And even hearing counts. Hearing silence counts. And then 3 things that you can feel, really connecting the feet to the earth, the sitting bones to the chair, reaching the spine long and feeling the temperature of the air on your skin. 3 cleansing breaths in through the nose and out through an open mouth. Just a transition onto your yoga space here in this sacred space. Inviting the body to just settle in as you take a tour of that inner landscape. Noticing, what condition did you bring yourself to practice today? Can you kind of identify your mood, your mind body? Are you feeling impatient or frustrated, or beginning to notice some settling? I'm here now. Noticing the physical body, if there are parts of your body that need a little loving kindness today. And honoring those parts of your body. Coming to the breath body, feeling the breath move in and out. Easy does it breath. Not trying to change anything yet, just noticing the quality of your existing breathing pattern. Pay attention to the length of your inhale and the length of your exhale. Notice the depth of your breath. And the openness of your chest and belly. Seeing if it's possible now to bring in some regulated breathing so that you can soften the belly and invite a deeper breath in. And as you exhale, a full and complete release of the air. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, if that feels comfortable for you. And then further regulating the breath by breathing in for an equal count in and an equal count out. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4. And breathing out, 2, 3, 4. Breathing in, just trying to that nice ocean wave of breath, that breathing in and breathing out. Creating some equanimity in the breath, in the mind, in the body. If it helps to pause at the top of the breath or at the bottom of the breath, feel free to do so. But maintain that beautiful rhythm of breathing in and breathing out. If it helps to visualize an ocean wave or a pendulum swinging, rocking a child, whatever would help you to connect further to that even breathing pattern. We're just visualizing the lungs expanding and contracting. Almost like a waltz. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. 3, 1, 2, 3. And just notice how that makes your mind body feel. Creating a focus on the breath. From that place of coming to practice to how you are now. And can I maintain this level of equanimity throughout my practice? So coming to your normal breath and bringing the hands to the heart space and really pressing the thumbs into that heart space, using that to help lift the heart. Paying attention to this heart space, to the shoulder area, not pushing through pain, not pushing through discomfort. Bow the head to the heart. Lower the hands down. Actually, bring the hands back up and lift the head up. I'll go with Judy's recommendation of just chanting Om together. So let's do 3 beautiful Oms. It's going to sound really weird, and that's okay because life is a little weird. Life is a little disrupted, right? So when you're ready, take a full breath out, full breath in. How unique we all are, how unique our sounds blend together, sending that beautiful sound of unity as we just join together in our practice now. So now bow your head to your heart. Take a moment to honor your practice. Lower your hands down to your thighs and blink your eyes open. And just shift side to side, a little bit of movement, lift the feet up, some weight off those sitting bones. Take your time. Move into your nice torso circles, rotating around, paying attention now to sensations of the lower back, the side body. I told you I'm taking this meditation class, and we spend a lot of time paying attention to sensation. And she pointed out some research that paying attention to sensation, the sensation of your movement, the sensation of your emotions when you feel the emotions, and taking them out of the head and into the body is such a beautiful release for the body. Bring your shoulders out, kayak the shoulders. A beautiful release for the mind body, for the emotions, because the emotions have a place to go. So when they go into your body and you sense the way the emotion feels in your body actually can regulate the emotions so much better than the mind can, because the mind will ruminate and keep going over and over the emotions, both shoulders up. But the body will eventually, through the use of the breath, start to calm and settle the emotion. And I just really have been thinking a lot about that this week and practicing that in my own body. So I just wanted to share that. I thought it was just really fascinating. Get the hands moving. Why we spend so much time. And I knew we did, and I could never articulate it. And I'm a kind of a nerd, a research geek. So I was like, I want to see the data on that. I want to see the research. So I'm waiting for her to send me the articles, and then I'll share those with you. Just a little bit of rotation. We're just doing a quick little assessment. Now pay attention to the sensations of your shoulders and do one at a time so you can focus a little, and I'll be quiet. Move to the other side. Does one side feel easier than the other? Right, reach your arms forward, and as if you're trying to reach for somebody you love so much. So you're reaching out here, take the arms out a little bit wider. Feel the shoulder blades spread across your back. and then plug in. So plug the head of the arm bone in, but what you're really doing is drawing the shoulder blades together. Reach out, shoulder blades spread, plug in, shoulder blades draw toward each other. And one more time, reach out. This is a lot on the shoulders, but this is starting to bring awareness and a little bit of strengthening into the back body as well. Plug in and then lower the arms down. Did you feel that in your back body? The shoulder between those shoulder blades? I sure do. Okay. All right. Take your ball, if you would. Does everybody have a foot rubs ball or a tennis ball or something? Get your little basket of yoga goodies. You keep your stuff in a basket or in a place where you can kind of just move it towards your space. Now roll in the pectoralis muscle here, and I roll it firmly enough that you can feel a tenderness area. Does everybody feel that tenderness right where the two, the pectoralis major and the pectoralis minor muscles meet? And I can sometimes feel it tingling all the way down my arm because this is my shoulder that's more affected. So I think it's tighter. And when I massage this, it helps to just break up some of that tightness and works the fascia a bit. Does anyone else feel the tenderness in that spot?
I do.
You do? Okay. Okay. Yep. Okay. And that's normal. Okay. That's normal. Go to the other side and see if you feel that. Almost feels like the ball goes over a little lump. Oh gosh, don't say lump in the breast area. And then go the other way. All right. And just kind of starting to work at least some of the muscle that I tend to feel gets too tight and short. All right, now let's do a little test of the arms. So bring the arms to goal post and hands are wide. Now draw the shoulder blades toward each other. So you're going to press the hands back a bit. And then I want you to think about sliding each shoulder blade in the opposite back pocket, down and in the opposite back pocket. So your right shoulder blade is going to lower down into your left back pocket and vice versa. So you get this nice work of drawing them together and down, and that taking them the opposite direction kind of gives you a little more energy. And then press your hands back and see if one of them goes back further than the other. Are you noticing if they're even, or if we are laying in goal post on your back, do both of the backs of your hands rest evenly on the floor? All right, so this is kind of a test for arthritis to see if you have arthritis, you won't have full range of motion going forward and back like that. And you may get stuck, all right, in this place here. And that's a tricky one, all right, because arthritis is that degeneration of the bone. All right, now bring your hands forward and then turn the palms up from the top of the arm bone. So rotate the whole arm up. This is called supination, like your hands are a bowl of soup. Take your left hand and press on the right hand and notice if you have any discomfort right here in the top of the shoulder. All right, that would be, or you have weakness that you just can't hold the arm up. This might be easier if someone else were doing it. And then try the other side. Pay attention to the top of the shoulder and see if you have weakness or difficulty keeping the arm lifted. Okay, how'd you do on that one? That one would be kind of a bicep tendonitis if you had pain right here in that area, or some impingement of the tissue. All right. How about just taking your arms out to the side? Now, this is called the arc of pain from 45 to a little bit above 90 degrees. This right here is considered the arc of pain. Once you get to about here, it's a little bit easier to take your arms up, but it's going from here to here. Anybody have that little issue right in that space, the arc of pain? That would just, that would be a tendonitis, all right? And that's something that that's just, would need some rest. It's tendonitis of the tendons that support the rotator cuff and the shoulder. All right, and then the rotator cuff, taking your arms forward and then rotating from the top of the shoulder and turning the thumbs down. All right, and then pressing down, seeing if you have strength to hold the arm up. And if you don't have that strength or the arm just kind of collapses into it, you may have some rotator cuff issues. And there are 4 different rotator cuff tendons and about 20 muscles that support all that. So, you know, that could be anything. So kind of just a little assessment to see what's going on with those shoulders today. All right. And if you know that you had any of those difficulties on one side versus the other, just pay attention to that and honor that. Don't push through any pain. Okay. All right. Now hands on the thighs. Let's do a little bit of cat-cow to get that roundedness. Draw the chin toward the chest, round the back body. So this is stretching the back body. Some of us are too stretched if you tend to round your back too much. Now lengthen tall and take the arms out to the side. Lift up through your heart space. Take the arms back. Press the backs of the palms toward each other. See how that feels right here where the arm connects to the shoulder. Take the eye gaze up no higher than the seam of the ceiling and the wall. And then come back to your cat pose. Hands on the knees. Slide the hands over the knees. Round the back body. And as you inhale, open the arms, press the backs of the hands toward each other. And let's do just a couple more of those with the breath. Exhale, rounding the back body. And inhale, open the heart. And last one. So the most important thing with shoulders is maintaining range of motion, as you know. And you can't really start to strengthen until you gain some range of motion. So the first thing will be to just really get that range of motion better off. So that will, the stretching, light, gentle stretching will help. So another one is to take the hands back behind you and walk your feet forward so you're sitting on the edge of the chair. This one you should do every day a couple times. It's similar to your cow pose. Roll the shoulders back. I'm holding on to the back of the chair and then hinge forward. So you're really getting a nice opening in the chest. Draw the shoulder blades together and only go as far as you have no pain. All right. So with stretching, the whole idea is no pain, no pain, no pain. When you get to that place of pain, you're just going to create irritation. So we're not pushing through any discomfort here. One more breath, release that. We'll try that again. Big breath in. And hinge forward. That just looks like it feels good to you guys. I can see you doing that. It looks like it feels really good. Does it? Mm-hmm. It does to me. All right. And then lean back. Good. You're so used to not talking. Scooch back in your chair a bit and get the heel toe. And opposite heel toe. So we're going to take a little break between shoulders and we'll add some legs and knees in here too. So pick up that right leg and make some circles with your ankles. Point and flex, point and flex. Good. And then extend the leg and bring it in toward the chest, nice and slow. So we're just greasing up that knee joint. And this is where we practiced last week, hands or no hands, depending on the strength of your quad. And if you're not one that can do squats because it hurts your knees, this is still a really good alternative to strengthening that quad. So you want to do these every couple of days, do a bunch of them to maintain the strength of that thigh muscle. 2 more, holding on or not, so you can hold on to give it a little support until it can stand alone on its own. You can give that some massage and we'll go to the other side. Start with those ankle circles. Point and flex. Anybody feel the weather changing with their joints? Mm-hmm. You tell the snow is coming. Our human barometers here. Knee to chest. They say that's not true, but I disagree. Because the barometric pressure, as I told you this before, when cows are in the field and it's going to rain, they lay down because their udders get full because the pressure builds up. So why wouldn't that happen in your knee joints, in your bursa? So when the cows are laying in the field because their udders are heavy, we know it's going to rain. And I feel it's the same with the joints in our body, just getting a little bit pressurized too. And one more. Ooh, I feel that in that hip flexor. and then give that a nice little massage. Maybe even rub the knee, bring some heat to that knee if that felt good to you. Okay, so if you could please grab your broom handle and put the end of the broom, the broom is up top, the handle, the base of the handle. So scooch over to the left side and put the bottom of the broom on your left side by your hip. If you have some space, it should be on the chair. So you may need to scoot over and give it some space. So it's on the chair, all right, because you're going to lean into. This is called the Statue of Liberty. Bring the broom handle forward and hinge forward and reach as far as you can on the top of the broom handle. As far as you can. All right, now if you have shoulder issues, you've got to be really, really careful here because you're going to now straighten up. And this is going to help pull that arm into full extension. All right, so if you know you have trouble with extension, then you just need to be really careful. Hinge forward again. And then use that, breathe out, Statue of Liberty. Arm reaches up. Get the arm as straight as it will go. And your Amelia, is your broom handle on the chair itself? I saw it like wobbling away. It needs to be right firm on the chair. You can even hold it into your side body with the other arm. You feeling a stretch here? Is this making sense to everybody? Mm-hmm. So if you're having discomfort, you may only be able to bend the elbow and come to goalpost, all right? But that's still a good range of motion. You can press it back a little bit and get a nice opening in the shoulder there. So this is where you have to play around with this a little bit. Where do I feel the best sensation and where is this most useful? So do you need that movement to come up and back, or is it better to have the elbow bent and press use it to help press the arm back a little bit? Being very mindful, very careful. All right, let's do one more. You choose which way is most, I got weird long arms. I need a longer broom. Like a monkey arms. All right, scooch over. And then bring the broom handle to the other side. Now this is my challenge side, so I don't know if this is your challenge side too. So hinge forward and then slowly take your time. Lift the arm up, make sure it's okay. I think for this one, I'm going to bend the elbow and use the stretch to open up from where the shoulder attaches to the arm. So keeping the elbow bent and pressing back just a bit. Can you see that? Yeah. All right. Nice stretch. Good. Nice extension in those arms, guys. Good. And just a couple more. Take your time. This can really be nice and beneficial to have a controlled stretch so it's not flailing. Okay, we'll set this down for just a bit and come to have it nearby still. We're gonna just do a couple more isometric strengthening. So bring your right arm to goalpost. So to a robot arm. So you're locked into the side body. And then we're gonna try to take the hand across the belly, but you're gonna do an isometric exercise. So you're gonna use your left hand to prevent the right hand from crossing over the belly. And you'll feel a nice isometric strengthening of the arm here. So if you have pain or discomfort, this is give it a rest, a really good way to strengthen using these isometric exercises here. And release. Can you feel anything in the shoulder joint while you're doing this? And then one more time, press the left hand into the right hand. You can use a fist or just a hand. And feel that really across the top of the shoulder. Do you feel that? Let's go to the other side. So same thing, we're doing internal rotation here. So press the right hand into the left hand as you're trying to push the left hand across your belly. And release. Press. Keep trying to grab your belly button. 2 more, press. So isometric exercises activate the muscle, but you don't move the range of motion. So it's a good way to strengthen if you don't have that full range of motion yet. Good. Shake those out, and you can feel the fatigue and the work of the muscle. Now we're going to take it to an external rotation. Okay, so you want to hold on to the, come back to your robot arm. You're going to hold on to the under part of your right hand and pull with your left hand toward the left and try to push your right hand out to the right side, but create that resistance, and you'll feel the strength, the isometric contraction of the muscle. Release. Nice full breath in. Don't forget to breathe. Don't grit your teeth or. And 2 more. And release. 1 more time. Press away from you with the right hand. Good. And you should feel that a little bit more in the back of the shoulder.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. And that's a great strengthening. Let's do the other side. So we're taking external rotation with that left hand. So my right hand's underneath, holding on to it, resisting. And release. Resist. And release. Resist. And release. Last one, resist. And release. Shake it out. Okay. Now just find the top of your shoulder, there's a bone, the top of the clavicle, it's called the acromion, and the bicep tendon connects under that. So just see if you can't rub across, do a little cross fiber massage right at the base of the acromion, right across here, and see if you feel any tenderness or lumps or bumps, little massage. I did this to my husband. I didn't even know what it was, but I'm like, you got a little bump here. I'm just going to massage it. Well, this is called a cross fiber massage of the bicep tendon. He's like, oh my gosh, that took it away. So they say do this for 3, 4, or 5 minutes if you have any discomfort when you did that test where your hand was up and you pressed it down like that, or just give it a little massage anyway to give it a break. Go to the other side, little cross fiber massage. We did that on our knees, if you remember. We did it above the quadricep tendon and the patellar tendon. So yeah, we're just really doing a lot of self-care stuff. You could do this in the shower, in the bathtub, just a little massage there. Did anybody feel tenderness in those spaces?
Yes.
When you did that?
Yeah.
Okay, well, hopefully that will help to relieve some of that. Okay, let's come to some sit stand now. So you know the routine. You can do it with wide feet hip distance, 1 foot forward, and then switch. Hands on the thighs, hinging forward, nose over toes, get light, recruit all the muscles, and then press into standing. Shift the weight to the heels of your feet. Slowly start to sit down. Feel the strength of the quads. Remember, you're isometrically imagining you're squeezing a block between your thighs. That's what we did last week, if you recall. If it helps you to put a block between the thighs, go ahead and do that. But that helps to ignite the muscles of the pelvic floor and up to the core. Squeezing those legs toward each other. Shift and sit. Good. Just a couple more. Maybe you want to take your arms a little bit higher or wider. And while you do a couple more, I'm going to push the camera back. Okie doke. All righty. So good. I'm going to place the chair on the edge, the long edge of my mat. And have the weights nearby, the weights on the chair. So they're available for us when we need them. Okay. Just shake those arms out. Come to Tadasana, to mountain pose. Till everybody's situated. So you have weights on the chair, chair just happens to be on my left side. Feet are in Tadasana, at a happy place here. And then think about your posture. Think about, are you one that tends to stand rounded and shrink up these muscles and overstretch the back? That sends that tailbone forward, tucks it under. So really get your Tadasana in alignment. So shoulders over hips, hips over knees, knees over ankles. Draw that belly in and up, palms face forward. Just reach the arms up overhead to your level of comfort. What's going on with the shoulders now? Inhale here, exhale. Keep the arms active and engaged. Press those fingers down through warm honey. 2 more, inhale. Take your arms only as far as there's no impingement pain. So when you have impingement or pain in your shoulders, discomfort, I should call it, right? Reframe it. You want to move through your active range of motion without discomfort. 1 more. So maybe the shoulders come up to shoulder height and come back down again. Roll the shoulders out. Good. All right, grab your broom handle again. All right, right hand, the palm is up. Left hand, you're holding on to the end of the broom. And you're going to take just use your left hand to lift your right arm up to the side and up. So it's similar to what we were doing with controlled range of motion, only going as far as, again, you do not feel pain. So I can't say it enough. No discomfort, no discomfort, no discomfort. Only go as far as you feel comfortable. And a couple more. So this is a really nice way to control and regulate the stretch without overdoing it, because you're controlling it with the other hand. Let's do 1 more. And then turn your palm over so your palm is facing down, and just take the elbow up and see if you get a different sensation. Maybe it's a no-go. Maybe it actually feels better this way, because it depends on what part of your tendons are experiencing challenge. So which one works better for you? Kind of just experimenting with our body as a lab. Or do you feel a new and different kind of stretch that feels good? All right, let's go to the other side. So nice and easy, using the right hand to press the left arm up overhead in a regulated manner. And maybe you can really get that upper arm in line with the ear. And then push up to get even more stretch. So if your shoulders are absolutely fine, still a beautiful way to stretch the shoulder by bringing it up in line with the ear and then pushing up with your right hand to get even more stretch from the where the muscles on the underarm and the ribs are. 2 more. So no effort's ever wasted, right? Can always find something. And then if you want to turn that palm over and see if there's something new and interesting for you here, it's a different type of stretch. Do a couple more. And last one. Nice. Okay. All right. Give yourself a little hug. Wrap one over top, then the other. Okay. Now grab your lightweight. And if you have an affected limb that is not going to tolerate holding on to the weight, don't use a weight, just go through the range of motion. We're going to hinge over the chair just a bit. Give yourself space, hold on to the back of the chair and absorb your weight with your hand in this chair. And what we want to do is let the arm hang from the shoulder socket, like the reach out, and move your whole body to try to get the arm to swing in a pendulum itself. So if I move my body, I'm not moving my arm. Don't hit your knee with the weight. And it's just penduluming in a circle. stirring the pot. And then see if you can't let it slow down and get your body to move and pendulum in the other direction. And this should feel pretty freeing. This is what's going to make some space in that shoulder joint. All right, let's switch it to the other side. So first let the arm get settled, absorb your weight by the other hand. Let the arm feel settled, relaxed. We're not holding on to any energy, and then use your body to create the pendulum movement of your arm as you hold on gently with that weight. And again, just noticing the sensation of movement in that shoulder. Okay. All right, come back to the other side again, and we're going to take it forward and back. So it's in my left hand, my right leg is going to be forward. And I'm going to use the forward back motion to let my arm swing forward and back. Just getting some natural pendulum range of motion here. Forward and back, forward and back. You feel that arm getting longer. Kind of like when we when we stand on a block and we let those hip flexors stretch. All right, switch sides. So now my left leg is forward. I'm going to let my right arm hold on to the weight and swing forward and back. So if your shoulders are feeling tight, this is a really good thing to do to create some space in that joint. Good. And then let's just come back to the left side. Take your feet nice and wide. Soft bend to the knees and rock side to side. So now we're doing side to side. So we did circles, forward to back, and now side to side. And even if I didn't have issues with my shoulders, this still feels really good. Creating space, and then switch sides. Try to let the momentum move it rather than your body and then your arm. So that's why we move our weight side to side. All right, good. Now grab both weights. And we're gonna do what's called bear hug. I'm gonna get a little closer. So holding on to the weights with my knuckles facing each other, and bring it up to your chest, up to your heart space, and then just open the arms out to a nice, as if you're hugging a big tree, and then come forward. So open the arms out, shoulder blades draw together, and then give yourself a nice little hug. It's called bear hug. All right. Fist pump, elbows out. So what we're trying to get when the elbows go back and down, pointing down, lower than the shoulders, shoulder blades are drawn together. I'm feeling some heat build up in the base of my neck. That's where the attachment is of that rhomboid and mid-trapezius muscle. So just working that muscle that gets the shoulder blades working. One more. Whew, that's a tough one, right? And lower the arms down and roll those shoulders out. Okay. Now this one is that lawnmower. So I've got my left foot forward, right arm's hanging down, hinging forward with a nice straight spine. Gonna lift the elbow up and press it back and reach the arm forward as if you're pulling that lawnmower cord. Okay, back and lower down. Press back. So I'm gonna watch. You got that? So it goes back, elbow is up. You bring that weight up towards your ribs. You're hinging forward a bit. Back and down, good. Two more. And down, last one. Back and down. Let's go to the other side. So right foot forward, holding the weight on my left side. Bring it up toward the ribs, elbow points back, and lower back down. You can hold on to the chair if that feels more supportive for your torso. I'm gonna look and see what y'all are doing here. Keep going. Good. Nice. Good. Nice and slow. Judy Anderson, is your palm facing toward the midline? Yeah, turn your palm facing
Which
toward
palm?
the palm that's holding the weight.
Yes,
So make sure it's okay. I
yes.
didn't want it to point out like that. Okay,
Oh,
good.
yeah, okay.
Okay, good. All right, that should do it. Okay, now we'll just do a little triceps. So roll the shoulders back. Shoulder blades are already down and in the opposite pocket. All right, palms are facing back. Bend your knees slightly and hinge forward just a bit. And then press back, together, and release. Press back, slightly together, and release. Don't come forward of the seam of your pants. Maintain that little bit of engagement in the tricep. Back, together, release. Keep the core engaged. And that might help to isometrically draw your legs toward each other, right? 2 more. Back. Okay. All right. Good. And then let's release those weights back down. You can set them on your chair. Okay, let's stretch out the lower back now. So just walk into a nice L pose. So hands are on the back of the chair, knees are bent, feet are connected to the earth, and then just stretch your spine a little bit taller. If that's not comfortable on the shoulders, bend your elbows down toward the floor and just maintain that length in the spine. Keep the belly drawn up, strong core, and then slowly walk forward. Roll the shoulders back. Okay. All right. So I have that much time. I think I'm not going to worry too much about the wall. So I want to get some stuff done on our backs too. All right, so let's do a little bit of core strengthening because that's all part of the whole kinesthetic chain, right? So let's do some pranam, forward fold. So hands out to the side, palms are forward. As you inhale, reach the arms up slowly. Just notice what the shoulders, notice if there's any difference in the opening of the shoulders. Big breath in here. Exhale, hands to the back of the chair, hinge forward. Inhale, press halfway up, keep the legs strong, keep the core strong. Exhale, forward fold. Again, inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, deepen that fold. Good. Bend the knees a lot, press all the way up to standing. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead, palms together, hands down to the heart. I want to see, you guys are on this side. All right, let's take that right foot, step the right foot back into either lunge so the toes are lifted, or if that doesn't feel good on the feet, lower the heel down into warrior one legs. You decide which one feels better on your feet. All right, wherever you are, squeeze that back right glute. So squeeze it tight and then isometrically scissors your legs away from each other, meaning you're going to send that left shin forward. So pretend you're trying to slide your left shin forward. The head to the heel is one long line, so we're not arching back into it. We're leaning forward into it just a bit. All right, reach your right arm up overhead. Full breath here and a nice little crescent toward that left side. Now, if that doesn't feel good on the shoulder, you are at goalpost, right? Come back to center, one breath here, and then crescent over one more time towards that left side. Come back to center, reach the arm up overhead, lower the hand down, step the back foot forward. Shake it out. We'll get a lunge on the other side. So come to your mountain pose. Draw that belly in, send the left foot back, either with the heel down or the heel up. I'm keeping my heel down today. It's my toes. and then squeeze your back glute. Send the front shin forward. Legs are strong and active. As you inhale, reach your left arm up overhead or come to goal post and crescent over towards that right side. Feel that nice stretch from hip to rib. What's going on in the arm too and in the shoulder. Lift back up one more time and crescent over towards that right side. Nice. Lift back up, lower the arm down and step the back foot forward. Shake it all out. Okay. And now we'll come down onto the floor. All right, bring your weights with you if you could. I was wondering first, before we lie down, if we could sit in a Baddha Konasana with our diamond pose. Take your time, find your blanket to sit on if you need to, and have your weights out front. Using the blocks to support your thighs if you need to or want to because it feels good. Okay. All right. Grunting is a good thing. Ooh, I'm on the floor. All right, so our weights are in our hands. We're sitting as tall as possible. And if you feel any of this in your lower back, then just back off or just use the range of motion. Don't actually use the weights, okay? All right, everybody ready? Let's get Judy settled in. Hands are at the heart. And we're going to reach the arms forward if that works for your shoulders. If it doesn't, don't do it or keep the elbows soft. And then this is a row. So bring the elbows back and together. So imagine we're kind of rowing a boat in a weird way. All right, so press forward and elbows back and together. Good. So what we're trying to do is keep the core strong and stable by lengthening from the pelvis to the crown of the head. So keep your core engaged, draw that belly in and up, reach the arms forward only as far as you don't feel anything in your shoulder joint or pain or lower back. And then just a couple more here. Good. And this is a good one to do if you have an elastic band, to put the band on the bottom of your feet with your legs straight and pull that band. It's like a kind of a nice row with the band. All right, let's set the blocks off to the side and the blocks off to the side and just grab your strap. Okay. Oh, you don't have yet. I hope you have your strap nearby. Okay, and then go ahead and lie back. All right. Everybody situated. Bring one or both knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a little lower back massage or row. So hands on top of the knees with the legs going out to the side. Here, pay attention to what you sense in the hips. Next week, we move to the hips and hamstrings. A little more awareness to those areas. So hopefully you use what you learn about your knees in every practice and your hips and now your shoulders in every practice. Good. And lower the feet down. Let the spine settle down toward the earth for a moment. And let's just do a nice Supta Padangusthasana. So bring the right knee into the chest with the strap over the top of that right foot. And bring the knee toward the shoulder to plug the head of that leg bone into the pelvis and then straighten it out nice and long. So get it long and tall, not high. Press the toes towards you and then slowly start to lift the leg up. We haven't done a lot of hamstring work today, so this may feel a little bit tight, a little bit different than sometimes. If your back is okay and you want to extend your left leg long, go ahead and get that nice stretch in your hip flexor. All right, keep pressing out through the heel of the foot. Leg is long, so if it's bent, lower it, straighten it, press out through the heel of the foot, toes towards the nose, and then slowly start to lift it. Take a breath here. Good. Now put the both straps into your right hand. Left hand's going to come on your left hip point. You want to keep the hip nice and level, and then take the right leg out to the right side. Use the strength of your leg to lift the leg back up to center. Put the straps in your left hand. Right hand comes to goalpost. Now, this is a good test to see. Can you take the back of your hand and does it reach for the floor? How's that shoulder working? And then take your right leg across your left. Allow that right hip to lift. And is it possible to see if the right shoulder blade can still make contact or in the direction of the floor with the back of the hand still on the floor? So remember, if this one doesn't want to do that, there may be a little arthritis or something going on in that shoulder joint, obviously. All right, turn back to center and switch your feet. So that left knee comes in the direction of the left shoulder. Once you got it plugged in, extend it long, straight, lift it up. Again, haven't done a lot of hamstring stretching, so give it some grace. Extend your right leg long if you choose. If it's not straight, lower it, flex your foot, and then slowly start to lift it. Give it some time. Give it some time to get adjusted to the stretch. Right hand comes on the right hip. Left leg goes out to the left side. A little external rotation. Maybe the toes can point down toward the earth, the heel up toward the ceiling in that direction of a nice stretch in the inner thigh. And then as you're ready, use the strength of your leg to lift that leg up. Put the straps in your right hand. Now take that left arm. See if it's possible to open that shoulder up slowly. Maybe the back of the hand reaches for the floor, maybe not. How's it compare to the other side? And then take that left leg across the body, seeing if it's possible to keep that left shoulder in the direction of the floor. Maybe it's not ready yet. That's okay, no judgment. Boy, big stretch across the outside of that left leg, right? That's why I rarely ever teach a class that focuses on one body part. I usually always do all our body parts, and I can really sense now that we have not done a lot of work with our outer leg muscles. Lift that leg back up. So that's interesting. That's a nice awareness in and of itself. All right, take the strap off. And take the feet nice and wide, slowly rock them side to side. Now, what if you bring both arms to goalpost and your back is flat on the earth? What do you notice here? And can you slide your fingertips, your middle fingertips overhead and touch your fingertips to each other? And then slide the elbows towards your waist. Just what's going on with the shoulder joint here? What do you notice? That's enough of that. All right, rock the knees side to side. Now my palms are facing down, so I've got a little internal rotation of the shoulders. Feet are as wide as the mat. I'm gonna drop the knees over toward the left side. And because I noticed we didn't have a lot of stretch in our outer legs and the hip flexors, if you choose, you can take your left ankle, rotate your left ankle, and consider putting it on top of your right, above your right knee. But again, this would be a big stretch because we haven't done a lot of stretching in this quad or hip flexor region. So, and you might say, oh, not today. We'll save that for next week when we do our nice, really juicy hip and hamstring work. And when we go to do this, it may be a lot easier. So just remember what this feels like compared to next week when we do it. We'll have a lot of opening in those areas before we get to this. One more breath here. And release the ankle off the foot if you had it there. And lift the hips up, rock the knees side to side. And then when you're ready, take the legs towards the right. Now lift your right foot, make some circles with your ankle. And then if you choose, place the right ankle above the left knee. Not a have to. Amelia, I see your toes are waving at me. All right, one more breath. And release the right ankle off the left knee. Lift those legs up, rock side to side. Give yourself another hug and a full body stretch. And then if there's any other stretch that you would like to do before we settle into Shavasana, go ahead and honor your body with that stretch now. And then when you feel ready, go ahead and settle into Shavasana. Make sure you're warm enough. And allow your body to completely just relax and soften into the space. Take a couple of cleansing breaths to release any lingering tension that may have accumulated. And then soften your face. Allow your eyes to be soft and roll back a bit and create space between your eyebrows. So if you tend to grimace, just release the muscles of your forehead. Put space between your teeth so your tongue can feel plump. Your jaw can relax. And all that work we did with our shoulders, just allow them to feel heavy as they release toward the earth. If you can come to a place that feels like gratitude, to be grateful for the work that the shoulders do and the burden that they often carry, and give them a chance to release that burden. You need to use the breath. Just embody that burden and release that with the breath. And begin to come back into this space. Take a nourishing breath in and a long, slow exhalation out. See if it's possible to take a couple of even breaths, Samavriti, breathing in for the count, same count as you breathe out. Ending your practice with that same sense of equanimity that you walked in, and that you began your practice. And when you feel ready to come back into the physical space, if not, feel free to stay in Shavasana as long as you like. But if you're ready, begin wiggling your smaller joints, your fingers and toes. Bend your knees, rock your knees side to side. Roll over onto your side and press your hands into the earth to come to a comfortable seat. And can we just kind of release the shoulders, just shake the arms out and see what it feels like to take the arms up little at a time overhead again. See if there's any shift whatsoever in the movement of the shoulders, the range of motion of the shoulders. So just taking your time, lowering the arms down, maybe some big circles. Or even just more sensory awareness to what's going on with the shoulders. Is there anything you discovered about your shoulders? Give yourself a hug. The arms are so nice because they do allow you to hug yourself and other people. So take advantage of that while we can. Then we'll bring our hands to our heart space and finish our practice with a lovely resounding Om. So unite ourselves together as we send each other off. So exhale fully and inhale. Om. All that light in me honors that beautiful light in each of you. Bow your head to honor your own practice and then blink your eyes open.